Okay, so I am making what you might hear it called as salmon patties. So hard for me to say it like that. I'm so country that I want to say salmon every single time. It is salmon. Salmon patties, but in my house growing up, my mom didn't always do salmon patties. She would just do tuna patties or tuna cakes, however you know them called. So this is how I'm going to fix it. So right now in my bowl, I have 1 can of tuna. I'm going to go ahead and add a 2nd can of tuna. Okay, so I've added my 2 cans of tuna, and I don't have a very bright light in here right now, and I'm sorry about that. Another joy of RV life is running into complications, and we have ran into a complication with our electric that my husband is in the process of working on. But anyways, sorry for the not so bright light. But I went ahead and added 2, and I like to go ahead and kind of chop up my tuna a bit. And then I'm going to add some salt. You guys, I do not measure. I just kind of know. Just like a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, a lot of pepper. I love pepper. I do usually put fresh garlic or onion in this, but I do not have either. So I added a little bit of this garlic powder to it, and I just kind of eyeballed it. I don't know, maybe a couple of teaspoons, and some onion powder. Then I'm gonna add a little bit of this parsley, and probably again maybe 1 or 2 teaspoons, maybe 3. I just kind of eyeball it, and also some oregano. Again, I use maybe, I don't know, 1 or 2 teaspoons, 3 teaspoons, just however much I think. And then last, I'm adding some Italian seasoning. And then I mix all of this up. Then I'm going to add in some of these plain panko breadcrumbs. I'm not really sure. I have about a half a can left. I'm probably going to use maybe half of what's left, and maybe the whole thing. And I have just a few of these saltine crackers. I've got 5 of these. I'm going to crumble these up and add these. The next thing you want to do, which is the last step of your mixture, the next thing you want to do is you want to add a binder for this. So I have 1 egg. I'm going to start with 1 egg and go and see. I may need 2, but we'll see. Okay, so I did need to add another egg, and you want it to be the consistency where you can make a patty out of it without it falling apart. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is add a little bit of oil to your skillet, whatever kind of skillet you're using. I'm using my cast iron skillet, and I had a little bit of leftover oil, so I used that. And there's a part 2. This is part 2 of cooking in the RV, and I'm making some tuna patties, or as I heard them called, tuna cakes. I'm making some of those. What I've done now, I ended up adding another egg, because even after I added the egg, the 2 eggs, it still wasn't enough for me to like how I like it when I form a patty. So this is what it should look like whenever you are done. Like, it should be pretty moist and able to roll and pat out into a patty. I had some leftover oil. I believe in preserving everything. It was just some leftover olive oil from something else that I had cooked before. I save all my oil as long as like meat wasn't cooked in it or something like that. I want to think that all I did was some fried potatoes, and then I saved the oil, and I added just a little bit, just enough to cover the bottom of my cast iron skillet. Okay, so after I have rolled or patted out my patty, this is what it should look like. And the recipe that I've given you is enough that it should probably make 4 patties. So you're just going to cook it on one side until it's golden brown, and then we'll flip it over and do the same with the other side. Okay, so I flipped my patty, and this is what it should look like. And I'm serious, it only takes like maybe a minute, maybe not even that long. These are super easy to make. And then once I'm done, I transfer it to a plate. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. A plate lined with paper towels just to kind of soak up that extra oil. I don't want all that oil in mine, and so I always line it with some paper towel and just place them on there. And I've already started on my next one. I also want to add that I started out on like medium heat, like 6, and I turned it down to 4, just because you can tell by the top of this one I got a little bit overdone, but not burnt, just a little bit overdone, but it'll still taste good. My husband's going to be so surprised when he gets back because he had just told me to worry about fixing something for myself. And these are one of his favorite things. He loves these. And so when he gets back, he'll be surprised that he has a good hot meal waiting for him. Something simple though and easy. To this meal, I'm adding some of this couscous, and you just follow the directions on the box. Product. Yum.